What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday, the 28th of August, 2024. It is 5:30 p.m. here in Germany. This is the Insanity Report for today, and today we're going to talk about the arrest of Pavel Durov. Now, if that name doesn't tell you anything, that's not too surprising, but Pavel Durov is the founder and CEO of the app called Telegram, which is an encrypted messaging app that governments across the Western world have been trying to get a backdoor into, and they have failed because Pavel Durov has told them to go pound sand. So that's great. So that means that Telegram is a pretty safe app for free speech and, transferring data and stuff like that. But of course, also things like terrorist things are talked about on it. There's probably some child porn trading going on. There's drug trafficking going on, as with any app, guys. That shit goes on WhatsApp, that goes on Facebook, it goes on Instagram, Snapchat, Telegram, X. All of these companies have problems with this kind of stuff, but they are protected for this kind of thing under sections to, what is it? 702, 207, what is it again? I don't know. There's a section. I forgot I'm blanking on the thing right now. 230, section 230, that's what it's called. Section 230, they're protected, that they cannot be held responsible for what is being done and said on their platforms. Although they are required to, when they find illegal activity, they have to report it to the authorities, and I'm sure that most of them do that, So why is Pavel Durov being arrested in France when he went to refuel his plane? He landed in France, and French authorities basically kidnapped him and told him that he's going to be charged with the facilitation of child pornography, the facilitation of drug trafficking, and the facilitation of terrorist activity on his platform. Now that's odd because I don't see any arrest warrants for Mark Zuckerberg, for any of the TikTok CEOs, none of that. Although TikTok is being targeted by the US government, of course, because it's one of the apps that they can't control because it's from China. See, they want to say it's a national security threat, but they just want to set a precedent that they can control what's being said and done on social media apps and things that are outside of their grasp. They hate Telegram. And the European Union hates Telegram even more because the European Union definitely is not making a secret of it. Even the British government, which is not part of the EU anymore, they're not making a secret of it. They want to censor the social media companies. They want to censor their citizens. And they want to control the narrative because, as we're learning, leftist ideologues have only been given power and have only held on to power so long because they were able to rely on a compliant media propaganda mouthpiece to get their narrative across to the people. And before the internet, the people didn't have much else to go on except for the nightly news or the daily news. Everybody got the same news, and everybody didn't really hate each other so much because they got the same information and basically shared approximately the same opinion on most things. Now that the internet is there and we can get our information from across the planet, from regular people with phones to journalists to professional media companies, we get information from all over the world directly sent to our phones every second of the day. And if we don't get it sent to us, we can look it up. So we're not reliant anymore on what we have learned to be mainstream media propaganda. It's Pravda in almost every Western country. This is the key to how the left has been able to hold on to power for so long. You see, because they've relied on a dumb public who's misinformed or uninformed, apathetic, and doesn't care, and they've relied on the media to be able to kind of knead these people into place, right? So people didn't question much at the time. Now with the internet, people are questioning everything, and they're learning that oftentimes the narrative that the mainstream media wants to portray to everybody is total bullshit. We know that ever since COVID, for sure, right? And it's probably almost 100% been going on way before COVID. As a matter of fact, like I said, I think the only reason that Democrats, the left, leftist ideologues, leftists, the Green parties, all establishment parties, establishment cronies have been able to hang on to power for so long is because they've been able to hide behind this media apparatus that is in their pocket. See, they've been giving the public false information for decades, and that's how these people have stayed in place, in power, right? And now they feel their power slipping away. Look what's happening in America. The Trump team with RFK and Tulsi Gabbard and Elon Musk and all these freedom fighters in America, they're going to be unstoppable, and the Democrats know it. And so the left and the Democrats all over the Western world, the left that's in power now, the establishment, is not going to give up power just like that. They're going to go kicking and screaming. And before then, they're going to break every law, break every moral point, everything. They're going to do anything and everything to be able to hang on to power, including bungling the Secret Service fucking for Donald Trump and getting him shot. They are going to do everything they can. They've used lawfare, not only in America, they're doing the same thing in Germany to the AfD party, which is the right-wing party. It's the only party that, like Donald Trump in America, is talking about anything that's going to benefit the citizens of the country of Germany. All the establishment parties are bought and paid for. Their interests lie with Ukraine, illegal immigration, trans shit, leftist ideology. They don't give a shit about the regular people. They don't. And they've made that clear. And the AfD is the only party in Germany that is willing to do that, as with the right-wing parties in all other European countries. And now that they're getting more power, the right-wing parties and the right-wing populists are getting more power, the left and the leftist ideologues are getting paranoid, and they're like a cornered animal. So they're going to do whatever they have to retain their grasp on power. And one of the things that they have to do in order to be able to keep it, and they know this, is to get control of the narrative, which is going to be almost impossible if you have a couple of players out there that tell the governments to pound sand, like Elon Musk, like Pavel Durov. They're telling the governments, no, we're allowing free speech in our platforms. We're not going to delete disinformation, misinformation. It is hard. I'll admit, it's hard to be able to tell what's true and what's not. But I'm an adult, and I can make my own decision about whether I think something is plausible or it isn't. And I will do with that information what I please. It's going to be up to me to figure out whether something is true or not, and whether or not I care about something enough to find out if it's true or not. See, I don't want the government deciding for me what they feel is misinformation, because I know they're liars. I know that they only want me to know what they want me to know and nothing else. That's what keeps them in power. See, an informed public will never vote for the left, will never vote for Democrats, will never vote for these establishment parties again that now we are finding out have been lying to us about every fucking thing. Everything. Until it's time for voting, and then they're all like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to make this change, we're going to, oh, well, you vote for us, guys. You know what I mean? Vote for us, dudes. All right, we're going to do it. And we've fallen for it all this time. And I think that we've passed that point now. I think that we're at critical mass of people waking up and saying, no, wait a minute, you guys have been lying all along, and now we're going to try something else out. And it doesn't matter how extreme you think it is. It doesn't matter if you think they're right-wing Nazis. It doesn't matter if Tulsi Gabbard had an affair with RFK. All that shit is out the window now. People don't care anymore. They're like, no, we're done. We're done. You've lied to us enough. The media's lied to us enough. We've had it. Bye-bye. You're out. And the Democrats and the left feel that happening. And so they are going to do everything they can within the next month, especially coming up to the U.S. election. They're going to do whatever they got to do. This is a critical time for Trump and RFK. They've got to have good security. I would get private security. I would get Eric Prince in there right now to guard them. I would not trust the Secret Service. I wouldn't trust any government organization. None of that shit. Because now is critical time, people. If they can get rid of them, they're gonna. If they see a chance, they're gonna take it. I wouldn't put it past these people. They're evil fucking people, right? And they're gonna do whatever they gotta do to keep a hold on power. And one of the major problems they have is the free flow of information on the internet. So they saw their chance and they kidnapped Pavel Durov, and they've already let him out on bail. See, usually when people get charged with terrorism, the facilitation of child porn, facilitation of drug trafficking, those are pretty goddamn heavy charges, right? Anybody that gets charged with that doesn't just get let go on bail, especially not in Europe, okay? That's not happening. So they let him out on bail. And he is a billionaire, and he can just jump on his jet and fuck off to any country, you know what I'm saying, and not come back ever. But they know he's not going to do that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he might do it, but they're going to hold these charges over his head. See, their tactic is going to be, dude, your platform is facilitating child porn, drug trafficking, and terrorism. Those are pretty heavy charges, and we're going to try and make those charges stick on you, regardless of the protections that you may have had under the law before today. We're just going to ignore all that, and we're going to charge you anyway. Look, Julian Assange didn't break any laws either, and he was held captive by the British government for over a decade, okay? So if they can do it to him, they can do it to basically anybody else, and they know that, and Pavel Durov knows that. And so now what their tactic is going to be, in my opinion, and I'm not the only one that has an opinion, guys. What their tactic's going to be, in my opinion, is they just let him go on bail, and they're going to say, look, think about it, go home, sleep on it, and you're either going to give us a backdoor into Telegram, right, which they've been trying to get from him all along, but he said no up until now, right? He said no. And Telegram is encrypted, so the only way the authorities can read your chat messages on Telegram is if they can actually get physical access to your phone, or if they use some program like Pegasus, which is not widely used on everybody. Not every government has access to it. Not every government worker has access to it. So it's going to take a lot for that to be done. But short of that, they basically can't get into Telegram. They can get into WhatsApp. They can get into Snapchat. They can read that shit without warrants. They can do it, right? Telegram's a different story because the messages are completely encrypted, and so they need a backdoor into it. And up till now, Pavel Durov said no, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to hold these charges over his head. They're very serious charges. I mean, imagine the time you'd get if you got convicted of all this shit, right? And, you know, these people don't care about the rule of law, as we saw with Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and a couple other people, you know what I'm saying? Donald Trump, all these people that are standing in the establishment's way of getting complete globalist totalitarian control over the people, the citizens, what they say, what they see, what they hear, what they tell. They're not going to be happy until that happens. And that's what they're going to try and do. And they're going to do everything they have to get that power back, right? And so they're going to hold these charges over dude's head. They're going to tell him, look, we're going to make it all go away as long as you give us a backdoor into Telegram. If he says no, we'll see what happens. Now, if this case just goes away and you don't hear anything more about it, then I would worry about the security of Telegram. Really. I'd switch to Signal or something else that is also secure. Signal's also a very secure app, probably even more secure than Telegram, as a matter of fact. But I don't want everybody to get paranoid for no reason. But the problem is, if this case just goes away, then there is, and nobody hears anything else about it, then there's a chance that he rolled, right? Then there's a chance that they flipped him, that they, you know, and he could flip. Yeah, I don't know the guy. I don't know how much integrity the guy has. Maybe the guy's like, look, I'm a billionaire already. I don't really need this shit. I don't need this fucking stress. I'm just going to give them what they want and fuck right off to Belize or fucking wherever the fuck he wants to go, because he's a rich dude, right? So it's possible that he flips. We're going to have to keep an eye on this story. If the story just goes away, it's a big chance the guy flipped and gave them a backdoor to Telegram, and then I would not use Telegram anymore for activities. You know what I mean? And I would just not count on the fact that it's still secure. So I will keep you guys updated on this story as it gets bigger, gets smaller, goes along. The moment I hear anything else about it, I will pass it on for sure in an insanity report. Definitely do it. But it's something to be wary of. And it's something for everybody to take note of. Look at the lengths these people will go to, right? All these social media companies are protected against this kind of shit. No other CEOs are being arrested. If I was Elon Musk, I'd stay out of fucking Europe for sure, because they've got a target on him, because he's telling them to go fuck themselves at every turn. Like, he's not putting up with any European bullshit. No censorship shit, no fucking disinformation, malinformation, banning accounts. No, he says no. Unless it's illegal in the United States, we're not going to do shit. And you can pound sand. And you can find me, you can do whatever, we're not going to do shit, right? So he's got a target on his back for sure. It's going to be difficult for Europe to extradite him out of America, to actually have the American authorities deliver him to them. That's probably not going to happen. But if he comes to Europe and they see a chance to nab him, once they've got him, it's going to be rough, right? Because right now the government of the United States is also not the kind of government that's going to say, wait a second, Europe, what the hell are you doing arresting Elon Musk? Are you crazy? Are you fucking out of your mind? No, Republicans are weak, spineless fucking jellyfish, and the Democrats will gladly hand him over. So if they get him while he's on a trip here, you know, they might do it. I wouldn't trust him. If I was Elon Musk, I'd stay the fuck away, because he's definitely got a target on him. Definitely. Now, there was something else I wanted to talk about today, but we're going to save it for tomorrow, and it is another crazy story about the Democrats and the Wallace, or the what's his name? The Harris-Waltz campaign. Yes. It's amazing, guys. It's amazing. But we're going to save it for tomorrow's Insanity Report. It's another video I got from my buddy Paul from the liberal hive mind that points out leftist hypocrisy and Democrat hypocrisy every day on their channel. The liberal hive mind on YouTube. Watch it. Subscribe to it. It's great. If you want to be pissed off every day a little bit, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch because the hypocrisy is astounding for these people. It's astounding. I always say, look, it's a feature, not a bug for these people. The hypocrisy is good for them. They like it. They like flaunting it because what they're trying to do is provoke a violent reaction from our side. And, I hope they don't get it because it's going to be bad news. Like in England, they've gone full totalitarian. As soon as the people start rising up, they say clamp down on it. No more internet talk. No more bullshit. Everybody's going to jail. They're rounding up people, except, of course, for the illegal immigrants that are committing murders and crimes on the street in the UK. They're getting let go. They're getting kid glove treatment. But the regular citizens that speak up against all this illegal immigration, the invasion of their countries, they're getting hammered. And so they've gone full totalitarian, right? Canada, same thing, full totalitarian. And all these other Western countries like Germany would gladly go that route, gladly. Yeah, if the people bend over and take it in the ass any longer, last week we had a stabbing. 3 people got killed by an ISIS terrorist at a diversity party. My insanity report from yesterday was about that, all right? If the people keep taking it off the butt here, then the German government's going to be next to be full totalitarian. They're going to do it if they can. And it's up to us to stay vigilant. It's up to us to say no. And so, as much as fun it is to laugh at the hypocrisy of the other side, they don't think it's funny. They see it as a useful tool to try to provoke a reaction from our side. And tomorrow's Insanity Report is going to discuss something that is just basically what it's going to do is make everybody's eyes roll. They're going to be like, Jesus Christ, these people, they're pathetic. They really are. And Walt's Harris campaign, pathetic. And tomorrow's Insanity Report is going to tell you exactly why. We're going to get into it. I promise. I was going to do it today, but we're running long already, so I'm going to let it go for today. Save it for tomorrow. Watch tomorrow's Insanity Report. Share my stuff, guys. It helps me a lot. And if you want to get my articles, which are lengthy and informative, any of my videos, the Insanity Report, the weekly rant, any podcast recommendations I give, you can get those directly in your email inbox, sent to you as soon as they're published. Instead of having to look around on social media, wait for a post, or search around for them, you'll get them directly delivered to your email inbox. If you subscribe to my Substack, below are the links. You can do it for free. You can do it for $5 a month membership. That would be great for me. I would very much appreciate it. Guys, subscribe there. If you're looking at this on another platform, Rumble, YouTube, TikTok, then go ahead and subscribe there. That's free. Also, follow me there, but subscribe to my Substack. That really helps me out. That's where I'd like everybody to kind of join up because you get all the content there, not just video content. So give it a go. Do it. Subscribe. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the next Insanity Report. Peace out.